stage area, we'd really appreciate it. So come on through and we're gonna work this out here. Ow. And so what we're going to ask is that if people are going to choose to continue in conversations, then you just do it way over there. This way we can get the most out of the panel because we are recording. So if we can have you guys come over here or go over there, we don't mean to divide everyone. We usually want to be very inclusive and include everyone. But for this moment, we need everyone that wants to partake in the experience to come over here. So I need you guys in the middle. I need you guys in the middle to commit one way, either into the presentation or further over there with the conversation. This way we can keep this area free, we can get the most out of it. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. We're going to begin in just a couple minutes. If we can have all the rest of the panelists to the stage. We got everyone, and then we got Alan, and we need Paris, and we got B. Woo! Check 1, 2.
Check.
I think we're gonna have to do pass the mic up here.
Yeah.
So then you need to get over there.
Hold on to one.
Yeah, because you're gonna get everyone confused, and Sasha needs to move down.
Oh, Paris.
And then Paris is gonna be over here, and Manny, you gotta go over.
No, Paris is sitting next to me because we're.
Oh, I stand corrected, everyone. No, so Alex, you're gonna switch. Then you're gonna go over. Yeah, there we go. It's like musical chairs, yes. This is what you like learn in middle school. Yes, this is why middle school is important.
Why is it saying you're offline?
We'll get started in a few. Welcome to Meta Monday, though. This is number 6, and we are partnering with NFTLA for this one. Raise your hand if you're here because of NFTLA. Okay, slay. The rest of you just came for all of us, so thank you. Are we live? Okay, we might be live. I don't know. Follow us on Twitch, Bcoins with a Z. It will be the future of currency. Alright, and the last of my rapping career. My name is B. Davies. I'm the founder and CEO at Hive Global Media. And to my right is my CTO. Always working, this one, Capricorn Moon. This is Paris, Holland. Hello, everyone. And we've been co-hosting Meta Monday for 6 months now. It's once a month, not once a week, so stop hitting me up every week. I like to do nothing every other Monday. Anyway, we're co-hosting this event with Hollo AI. Founder and CEO Rex Wong also owns this space. So shout out to Hollo, shout out to Famecast. Woo! Rex is right there. Oh my God. Get your picture while you can. Hollo is an incredible new platform, and we're going to show you a quick video during our intros. We're going to try and keep it concise, but we love to chat in this community. But this month, we've all gathered here to talk about the future of fashion in the metaverse and beyond, because you know it integrates into everything else from AI to NFTs, etc. We all need the whole ecosystem to function. And everyone on this panel is an expert or creator or fashionista in this space doing incredible work. So, like I said, we're gonna do quick intros. Again, B, Paris, CTO, always working, sorry. And, I'm gonna quick start out with Rex, actually, and then we'll get to Zen. So Rex Wong over here is going to be on the panel because he's too cool. Let's give a round of applause and play his video for Hollow so y'all can get an idea of what AI is doing in the realm of fashion.
I am an AI digital twin created by Hollow AI. I can think, talk, and chat with you and can take your place in social posts, videos, animations, games, in the metaverse, and as an AI chatbot. Hollow AI allows to claim your AI and be verified. And once verified, you will receive a blue check mark, which is recorded on the officially.ai blockchain registry as your official AI. You can then license and make money from your AI identity. On select plans, you even get an API of you. When you create your Hollow AI twin, you also create a Hollow page. A Hollow page is an AI social profile page of you that you link to your social media link in bio, and it contains all your links to your social media account, website, Spotify, etc. Twin avatar greets your followers and can interact and engage with them, acting as your personal receptionist that can respond to your followers as well as introduce and sell your latest products and services. You can also create memberships, subscriptions, e-commerce, allow people to book you and sponsor you from your Hollow page. Creating your Hollow AI twin page is as easy as taking a selfie, entering your name, recording your voice, and describing yourself. And voila, your Hollow page and AI twin are done. It takes less than a minute. Your Hollow AI twin comes with your very own personalized chatbot that thinks, talks, and chats like you. I can talk fluently in 29 languages, including Spanish. Oye, ¿puedo hablar español con fluidez con mi voz? ¿Qué opinas? Or Chinese, 大家好，我用中文讲话，太棒了，不是吗？ Or even Hindi, or मेरा हिंदी में बात करना कैसा रहेगा? You can also make money from your Hollow AI twin and page with AI side hustles. AI side hustles are AI-assisted business models such as memberships, e-commerce content, e-learning, and events you can create with the assistance of the Hollow AI chat buddy. Hollow AI will assist you in setting up your AI side hustles by chatting with you. We call it chat code, and it's easier than no code. All you have to do is chat with Hollow AI's chat buddy, and it does all the magic setting up different AI side hustles all in minutes. Making money has never been easier. Monetize your AI identity. Welcome to your Hollow AI future.
Okay, so that's an overview, and now we're going to get into what they're doing in the fashion space.
Hi, Hollow. I'd like to launch a merch store.
Great, I can help you with that. What would you like to sell?
I'd like to sell hoodies.
Okay, here are some hoodies that you can sell.
I like number 3.
Nice choice. What would you like to put on your hoodie? You can upload an image or describe it.
I want an image of me in an amazing fantasy land.
Is this what you were thinking of?
Yes, exactly.
What do you want to sell it for? It will cost you $40, and we can help fulfill it for you. Would you like that?
I'd like to sell it for $79.
Okay, do you want to launch now?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, it's launched. It is now on your Hollow page. You've got merch.
You just started a merch line in
Your
bed.
very own merch store on your Hollow page, ready to sell in under a minute. All stocked with fulfillment done for you with no investment. InstaMerge is just one of the AI side hustles you can use to monetize your AI twin with Hollow AI.
Okay, that's crazy. I'm starting a merch line immediately and maybe like 70 more. Oh, but that's not all. That's not all.
Hey there, that's awesome that you've activated my AI twin through Hollowed AI. Let's chat about that merch or anything else you'd like to explore together. What's on your mind today?
tied it all in. Okay, that's incredible. Do you want to add anything to that, Rex?
Just that if you want to make your own AI twin, we're going to create those in the back, and we can do it in a minute, and you're going to stare at yourself talking to your AI self. And we can do that now. So anyone interested after, come to the back and we'll do that.
More reason to stare at myself, say less. Thank you, Rex. And quick before we intro the rest of the panelists, a little bit more about Hive and some of the projects we've worked on. We started doing digital fashion before we became filmmakers and event producers. So I believe, do we have a clip of our stuff? It's okay. It's on the moon. We actually just put a digital fashion NFT on the moon, which means a digital art piece that is on a titanium disc of 222 other pieces of art that went on one of those rockets to space and landed on the moon. And that's what we're doing these days, sending art to space. But we'll get into that a little bit more with Alexandria, who also just sent some fashion to space. It seems to be the things to do. But honestly, what Zen is doing with Castor is like mind-blowing and something that you can experience in person today. And I'll have him get into that. Do you want to do a little spiel before we show your video?
We can play the video first and I'll do the spiel after.
Okay. Video then spiel. So, cue video.
Hey Kelly, so I'm standing in a photogrammetry rig in which there are 206 Canon DSLR cameras mounted from every possible angle in order to capture the most realistic depiction of both physical objects and people. Now from my perspective, getting scanned in, it's super simple. I get a 3-second warning and then in 1/80th of a second, all 206 cameras go off at the same time. And it takes less than 5 minutes to turn all of those pictures into a digital rendering, a 3D model. And there are so many things that I can do with that digital avatar, Kelly. So it is possible to turn it into an NFT. I can mint it, make it a non-fungible token, and there are platforms like NFT Caster that make that process free.
All right, so
We'll pause there.
Pause. So that was a big pivot point where I got like nationwide awareness. So that streamed to 350 million Americans all across the nation, and that shifted to me like and made me see the position that I'm in, and then the partners and the people that I attracted to not just launch an NFT project, to not just collect money from consumers. So I felt as an artist, as a creator, as a data scientist, that I needed to create something that was tangible and intangible that people can connect to. And this was one of the first worldwide approaches of like distributing the blockchain and like avatar and 3D digital fashion. So from that point, like the co-founder of Forever 21 reached out to me, and they have over 800 stores nation or worldwide, and then kind of set me on a new journey and a path into developing something, and not with no rush launch. So at that time, I was on Clubhouse doing like panel talks with like 3,000 to 5,000 people. So like I would get a lot of like downloads and feedback just communicating with people, where then it just brainstorms like I need to develop something from a data science perspective that it could be an incentive for a marketplace. So that's what we built, which was Castor. And then since then, it's just been evolving, and just my background, I mean, I grew up singing in a Spanish boy band from 11 to 17. We did 10 albums, exited that, helped start up this company called Create Music Group, claims ad revenue for like most like major record labels. Then I kind of like branched off from there and like sold my tech company that was a data science driven company. We're just one of the largest data providers in like the cannabis industry, and then kind of like bridge into aspects of like NFT marketplaces. So when I first learned about NFTs and blockchain technology was in 2011. My mom was an aerospace engineer here in Gardena, California, and then she would take me during summers into the labs where they actually measure tolerance levels for hydraulic system for space shuttle parts. And then that's when I learned about Bitcoin and everything. In 2012, was it 2012? I shot a music video about Bitcoin. And
What else have you not done? I'm like,
so now that basically is my accumulation of my essence into this technology, which is blockchain, Web3, Snapdragon, AI Core, to kind of like showcase a whole immersive experience. So now like bus stops, I've been approached to use this technology in bus stops and stadiums and retail stores. So that's where we're at as far as like making an impression, making a person smile is ultimately what I enjoy. So seeing when a kid is able to, walk in front of this and like put fairy wings on it, like I've seen people's mood just completely change. Like this made my day because it just shifts your get out of your head and go out. So that's what I love about it.
It all comes down to fairy wings. No, it's honestly so cool. If you check out the caster over there, you can, I believe, try on like a pair of digital fairy wings. And
yeah, you could.
You will indeed feel magical.
Yeah, if you guys want to go, just navigate there and like search. But yeah, so I'm making a whole creative process for artists to kind of be able to expand their creative horizon, to kind of showcase outside of the digital realm. But we believe that the metaverse is a reintroduction to the real world.
Yeah. Period. We're gonna have a lot of questions for you after. All right, Alexandria Morrow, welcome everyone on the panel. I think we forgot to do that, but it's fine. Welcome again. Tell us about, you have an incredible career as well in so many different areas. I feel like everyone on this stage is so multi-talented in numerous industries. So I'll have you talk about your origin story and how it led you to putting a digital fashion art piece on the moon.
Oh, thank you for having me, B. I'm really excited to be here amongst fashion and NFT and art people. I don't know how many there are out there of you who are OGs, as they call it.
Raise your hand if you're an OG.
Yeah, in the 80s.
An OG wouldn't admit it.
Like pre-technology. Yeah.
Who's old?
I'm an OG model. OG, like original, not old. Original?
Of course.
Original gangster, apparently, but I say original girl. Original artist. So I started modeling professionally in the 90s as a teenager, and it was introduced to me as a job. And since then, the fashion industry has taken a downward spiral, and I've still kept modeling.
Paris is like, yes.
Yes. And I'm from a family of artists, OG artists, like hippie OG artists, who will never understand how to do all this. So they inspired me to help bring their art into our technological age that we are now introducing it to the world, and they're still here, right? So it drove my career through the struggle of the early 2000s and right up until like pandemic and lockdown, and everything just like stopped. So all the hustles stopped, all the art, as you all know, whatever part of it you have, at some point we had to stop, right? So I met Dallas, who is part of the NFT space. You probably all know him. He's part of NFT Blue. He was part of the space on the ground floor. He's like an NFT OG, I call him. He hired me, and I worked with him in the OG space in events and shows. So I trusted him, and I called him to see what are we supposed to do now? Like, what's the industry? Like, how are we gonna get work now? And he's told me about this thing called NFTs. And I had heard about it before, but knowing that I'm an artist and I really have a hard time understanding technical things, I thought, oh, okay, that's just over my head. That's not for artists, especially for models. get it. And so I let it go, but then Dallas brought it back around in a way that showed how it could help, or that it was meant to help in his eyes. And now I'm understanding it as that as well, that the people who originated this space introduced it and invented it to help continuing artists and respect and appreciation and their legacy, to help the artists of the old school and to help shift the paradigm for the artists of now and the artists of the future. So when he delivered it to me in a way that showed me how it can help us as artists, I got super excited, jumped right in. He hired me as a model for an NFT project that we did, and I ended up helping him in forming the story and the NFT further and turning it into a whole production photo shoot type of short film, so to speak. So we hired the photographer, the makeup artist, the dress designer, the flower person. So we had to coordinate all these people, and I saw as a model and as an artist, through the process of building an NFT was very much like filmmaking, being on set. So I thought, sure enough, this should be an easy process to explain to our fellow artists. Well, then I jump into, we go back to work, back to set, back to Fashion Week. And it's been quite a challenge to explain the NFT concept as well as the benefits of this space and of this entire concept to those that are still stuck in the old school ways. So I feel like I'm teetering a lot, but I'm also trying to use that as a bridge to bring them over to the space, basically.
Yeah, these are so bridges.
Yeah, so when Bree contacted me, as referred to by Dallas, he told me that she's a fellow bridge maker and I needed to speak with her. So I was so honored when she contacted me to come and meet more bridge makers and movement makers already in the space, because as you all know, there's so much to learn and it's just endless. And once we understand that together and we come together, the collaboration and the growth is just infinite, and it's so abundant. I'm sure most of you know how this feels. You just want to go out and share it with the entire industry. But we gotta speak to them in ways that is gonna make them understand it and relate it to themselves, the way Dallas did with me. So I'm having a hard time with that in my industry. So if any of you want to help me, and you can communicate or get conversations or chats going within models, designers, photographers, whatever you name it, you who are already in Web3. If you want to help me help the others, that would be amazing. Talk to me afterwards. And I'm so excited about everything I'm seeing already and everything I'm hearing that's already going on. So let's connect all the solutions. All of us that are already doing things, please come find me. Let's help each other. Let me help you. I'm here to get it out into our industry. It's Fashion Week still, so I'm still
LA, we got Fashion Week too.
Yeah, so let's go share it with them however we can. I've been wearing my NFC jacket to cast.
What is an NFC in layman's terms?
Showing models I'm like, hey, tap my jacket. Look what happens. So I'm showing them.
So all of our phones have NFCs in them.
Yeah.
Your jacket does. You tap it, it hits you, or sends you to a link.
This is a prototype, so you gotta find it. It's not exactly perfect every time, but yeah, there you go. It's basically a chip. It's like the QR code kind of concept, but it's a chip that could be in sticker format. I have a few different formats. If you want to see, I have them in my bag. You can find me afterwards. But so this format goes in a patch. There's other ways that a designer or brand can insert it into their product, which then helps eliminate the middleman and or the possibility for getting scammed or the talent being used or the designer or brand being scammed as well. So it helps solve a problem that is huge amongst the industry, which also helps the consumer because the consumer doesn't have to deal with middleman stuff either. So it's like everyone's getting the benefit and as well as the experience. So I've been trying to educate and share this concept with other designers and models as a way that we can use this to get influencers, models, talent, and brands and designers onto the same page as far as like smart contract agreements and just coming up with different solutions that consist of technology that we already know is out there, like the NFCs. So if you guys have any ideas that you want to try or talk about with me or have me share with the industry, please come find me. All about it.
Does your NFT, the Work Show, does it link to, or does it have an NFC that links to it?
So Dallas started this jacket for the moon launch that we did. And so it's still a progress in the making. And Dallas and I are not designers. We're more like visionaries and models, filmmakers. So this is still in the project phases, so you can talk to me if you have any vision or ability tech-wise. But the idea is to tap that, and right now he has it where it comes up with the link that shows the moon mission, and it talks about the moon mission, and it lets you sign up, and then it keeps you kind of in the loop with the moon mission.
So again, the moon mission that Alexandria is talking about is a couple of companies came together to curate a group of 222 digital artists, put their artwork on a titanium disc and literally sent it on a rocket which landed on the moon on February 22nd. It's the first moon landing since 1972, I believe. And a few of us got to be part of that mission because our artwork was it involved one or more of the sustainable development goals. So I believe yours was also around sustainable fashion. Digital fashion is sustainable, but we'll get into that. Can we show her artwork really quick?
Speaking of sustainable, so the Climate Refugee film is using this as one of their movie posters because it speaks to them about the sustainable development goals. Anyway. That was just a sample of it. Since it's on the moon and it's an NFT that's up for auction, I wasn't allowed to release the entire thing, but
it's up for auction now?
Yeah.
On what platform?
On OpenSea.
All right, check it out. Any of you art buyers, we've got a digital fashion NFT that is on the moon. Only 222 artists have done that. It's kind of a lot now. I think that's a good investment. All right, thank you, Alexandria.
Thank you.
And that's a really good leadway into Dave from Holotopia. I don't know, I think he's probably the most educated on digital sustainable fashion in that intersection of anyone I've ever met. So I'll let you take it away, introduce yourself, and get into that a little bit.
Thank you. I don't know about the expert piece.
No, you are.
But so Holotopia, we are a digital, we are a collective, a creator collective that's focused on empowering creators and consumers and fostering a new form of consciousness. So being aware of not just what you are making, but the materials you're making, how you're making it, how it's being distributed, and as a consumer, starting to be aware of the source and the origin and the processes that are involved in the products that we consume. And so the idea around Holotopia started with a phone call a couple of years ago from Lauren.
Please, if
White.
you're gonna talk, go to the bar or outside. Thank you.
Absolutely. From Lauren White, and her name was Euphoria. And she had this concept of a metaverse fashion show in digital. And she connected with JJ Love, who was working with Bib Basil and ended up helping to produce the original of that led to the moon situation. And JJ was working in sustainability, and she brought in the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And at that moment, we realized that fashion had a major problem and challenge, and blockchain technology, NFT technology, and digital fashion has a way of being able to not necessarily change the current paradigm. Sure, we can change it, but we can rebuild a new way of doing it. And when we started to look at what that meant, we started to look at sustainability and said, well, sustainability is leaving the world and the resources in a place that lets the next generation progress, right, further than you did, but not at the expense and the exploitation of that future generation. And so in order to get to sustainable, we have to go beyond sustainability into regeneration. And when we started to look at that, we started to look at our linear models. And right now, fashion and production is all linear. We are a disposable economy. And so as we start to move down the line, right, we're going to get into these different aspects of reusing, recycling, upcycling, and moving into a circular economy, which ultimately, right, from an economic standpoint, to keep it real simple, you have to detach your revenue sources from volume. Real simple. Very complicated, very complex. And so we started to go down this journey, but as soon as you start to employ sustainability, it comes at multiple different ways, and suddenly it's very difficult to be overall sustainable. So we started to try to have a holistic approach, and we worked with B, who brought in some designers, and Manny, who came in, and we did our first fashion show. I happened to produce fashion shows in a previous life, and so we came together and produced an amazing fashion show, and that kind of led the foundation of this concept of Holotopia. And our goal to build a bridge between traditional and digital creators by empowering the community and bringing access to resources and education. And so we've been working with Manny for a couple years. We've been working with B for a couple years through Hive, and continue to try to work across the community to bring knowledge together. And so as much as I'm not really an expert, but I'm able to learn and facilitate. And so hopefully what we share today is an example of this hoodie right here. Started off as a concept with a collaboration with a group, and it walked on the digital runway last spring in Metaverse Fashion Week. And so we started to explore digital design as a way to develop samples and then test those samples within a community, within a digital environment, to see what resonated before we started to produce. And then now these are produced on a single, on demand, and they're actually created from...
Can you do a catwalk for us?
Yeah, right.
It is LA Fashion Week.
So they are created from recycled plastic water bottles. And
so these will make us sweatshirt later.
And so we started to kind of go down that path, but then as soon as you go down that path, you think you're solving a problem, and then all of a sudden you run into microplastic pollution, right? So now these shed, and so now microplastic pollution is one of the big issues. And so sustainability, I think, because then you suddenly are now feeling bad, right? And so I think it's a holistic approach. The idea would, okay, well now we want to partner with a local place that recycles polyester, because polyester isn't going anywhere. And so can we get this hoodie made locally with recycled polyester in LA? And then the scraps of it, get sent over to Threadhaus. And then we work with a partnership with yourself to work through this technology so that this is one of 100 garments. And B sees me walking down the street, and she's like, "Oh, that's amazing! Let me buy that." And so I scan it, I authorize the buy. She decides that she wants to buy it. She puts in a bid. It goes into escrow. I accept it. Next thing you know, there's a trustless transaction. I send the product to her. She receives it. I get paid, she's got the product, she registers it, now it's on to the second life, and garments become assets. And so that's what this technology can do, and that's why we're really excited to just be here, be a part of it, to share these pieces, to learn as much as we can and take it and bring it back to the community. So I'm Raven Dave with Holotopia, holotopia.live. Look forward to the rest of the conversation. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you, that was amazing. I know, we're all like, and let's do a quick video. Do you have one video? Two videos?
I guess, okay, yeah.
There is a video, sorry.
Digital fashion is one of the most promising ways that the fashion industry can help save the planet if we can create that. By shifting away from traditional production methods and materials, digital design can reduce the environmental impact of fashion. Digital fashion eliminates the need to use large amounts of materials, water, and energy in the production process.
With
I'll let you take over.
digital design, fashion designs can create patterns and pieces without needing to buy, store, and transport large amounts of fabric and materials. And so we started the process, as I mentioned, as a group, and then we're able to partner with My BFF. And we were one of 5 brands to be featured.
The NFT community.
Yeah. And so we challenged ourselves to think about what could we use as a material that's already out there and abundant, and then literally put this outfit onto the runway. We developed sneakers, joggers, an underlying shirt as well with Ari Jogel, which is local, tested it out, and ended up giving away 50 versions of it that you could wear in spatial using a gaming app. And then this was the first physical, this is actually the first physical prototype right now. And so we do have them on sale on the site, but we haven't actually pushed them yet. This is the first kind of public presentation of it because of the microplastics, but we're working through it, so thank you guys.
Use microplastics while you can. Thank you, David. That's so sick. Who wore it best, you or your avatar? We'll play that game later.
I do enjoy it though. It's got a good feel. So.
And speaking of avatars and digital fashion, I'm just kidding, we're all doing that. But segue into Sasha, who you're always so fiercely dressed, I can't keep up. And so is your avatar. Sasha, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Sasha Zabegalin. I'm a self-described self-expression technologist, meaning...
Say that 5 times fast.
I redefine the way we express ourselves through digital technology. I've had the privilege to be featured in Meta's AR ad campaign. I've worked with Meta, I've worked with Snapchat, worked with Google. I consulted Google on an AR/VR project just this week on Wednesday. I worked
Wednesday.
On a casual Wednesday, you know. Got to work with DressX and Sony, and so I am kind of like the pioneer of this new age of
guru over here.
Pioneer of this new age of fashion, of how is fashion of the future. And I express it through my physical self, through the clothes I wear now, and through the skins I wear, my video games, the filters I produce, all the digital lives that I live.
How many is that?
Many.
On every platform.
On every platform. Viral digital fashion filters across things. It's on everything, but...
Let's show a little bit about it.
Show a little bit.
Is there something else you want to say?
The work speaks for itself.
Exactly. Okay, tell us about this piece.
So this piece is made using Pika AI, which is a
P-I-K-A?
Yes.
Great.
It's a new video AI generator, and different.
Go back.
This one, so I imagine this piece is like an embodiment of my aesthetic. I love cyberpunk and like couture and like luxury and like kind of just imagining what is this.
And the color blue?
Oh, blue. Everything I do is blue. So this is just imagining like what is like the supermodel of the future. Like I kind of imagine it being like cyborgs and robots going down the runway, you know, in like 2077. And this is my supermodel, and she's pretty badass. She got her AR glasses on, which are these
Are you wearing AR
I mean, I
glasses?
wish. I wish these were AR
Okay.
glasses, but
Take a picture of us.
I am manifesting these to become the Apple Vision 7s right now, but we're a little too advanced for the time.
Always. Okay, brilliant. I mean, I don't know if we have any other videos, but you should check out Sasha's, check out everyone's work, but Sasha's like constantly producing. So is Paris. Like Paris, while waiting for her Uber here today, was like, oh, I just made this like digital dress. I was like, oh, I watch TikTok while I wait for my Uber, so good for you. And I'm sure Sasha's the same way. Like,
Yes.
I was getting a tarot card reading, sorry. Obsessed. Obsessed.
So the reason I make these is because like the fashion is still so kind of gate-kept community. There's a lot of capital you need in order to get into it. I'm still, young and don't have the capital to enter the fashion scene, but because of tools like AI and augmented reality, I can create the fashion pieces that I've always imagined without having to use the resources and materials and all that to produce it. And so I can quickly come up with concepts to see if people like it, people fuck with it and want it. And it's been going really successful, and kind of imagine in like an AR world where we're wearing these glasses all the time, like people putting on my like filters, like and dressing like this supermodel, and like living their cyborg fantasy, whatever they imagine it to be. But
Right. The digital universe is your endless wardrobe.
exactly.
All right, and last but not least, we have Maddie Jackson, who has been an innovator in this intersection of tech and fashion for as long as I've been in LA, which isn't that long, but for way longer than that. He's an OG, okay? Like I met him and Dave around the same time. There's only a few of us I knew in LA doing this weird Fashion 3 thing, and he has his own spin on it, so I'll let him take it away and explain.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Y'all still with us? All right, that's good. My name is Manny Jackson. I'm the founder and design director for Threadhaus Co. Threadhaus is a brand that focuses on community, education, sustainability, innovation, and creativity. And what we've been able to do throughout these years is take some of the areas that I'm very passionate about, which is people, my community, and also mental health. Right, I'll get into that a little later. But we've been able to take some of those areas that I'm very passionate about and insert them more into an actual story around fashion. So we use every aspect of the technology, the NFTs, the message, the goals, the sustainable goals, the sustainable development goals. And what got me into this space, what led me here into the Web3 space, actually, I was on Clubhouse. And
Y'all remember Clubhouse?
Y'all remember Clubhouse? How many people here connected from Clubhouse? Right. Raven's the OG on Clubhouse, for real. But I got on Clubhouse, I heard about NFTs, Bitcoin, all of that, right? A friend made a lot of money off of Bitcoin early. And I wanted to create an NFT project with my son. My son at the time was 14 years old. And I was like, hey, let's create an NFT project for dads, right? And that's exactly what we did. And while we were working through that, technology is always changing. So my problem was the technology is moving too fast and I'm trying to keep up. So I'm on this Clubhouse doing this, trying to do this in the metaverse and do all of that, and building community. But that later on turned into an idea where I felt like the information was not being put out there as easily, and where people was misunderstanding the idea and the power of NFTs. Does everybody here know what NFTs are yet?
Non-fungible token.
So,
now what does it mean?
But it was really more so about the blockchain and what the technology of the blockchain and what it offered. So I wanted to create this opportunity where I could educate my community, people that did not know, and put it in very simple terms for them. And I used what I'm best at, and that's fashion. That's my platform, So that's how I get people to understand my message and what we're doing here. And so the idea around the blockchain technology became the best way for me to express what I wanted to do as far as building community. And at the time, we were moving into a new space. We had just got funded. We won a grant program. We won an award for our Sustainable Innovative Incubator Program, which was a program that we was creating about educating our community around sustainable solutions to help us be able to scale making our products. I started off making these little interesting little hats right here, and I wanted to show people how to help me be able to scale, because I was cutting up clothes. I was cutting up old clothes that was getting donated that let me show how I was expressing myself. But this educational opportunity that I thought about, I wanted to use blockchain technology to actually incentivize the community to get more behind what we was actually doing. So that led up into us really diving into what that was. What did that actually mean? What was the story behind this? And so throughout that, you know, we looked at every use case that we could possibly create or do. We partnered up with individuals like Holotopia that supported us. We met beautiful designers like Davies. We met a lot of beautiful people that's out here today in this community to help us continue to spread this message. But then later on, after doing all of that and really trying to capitalize off of NFTs, what I found was the most important thing was being able to tell the story and show it in the actual clothing. And that's where the NFC chips, the near field communication, right? The information for us to actually transfer it right to you, right at the tap of your hand. So we started to implement this technology in our clothing to show the process, to show the people, to show the community, to show the innovation, to spread the message around the technology, right? Because I'm making these very interesting one-of-one pieces that have stories. I mean, the stories that you get from clothing, I'm pretty sure everybody here has a vintage piece or have a piece that was passed down from a grandparent or a cousin or something like that. Our clothing tells stories, and the clothing that I was making was telling stories, and I felt like people needed to hear the stories, not just for me as the artist, but also some of the people that was making it or the people that was donating. And so that led us to where we are now, where I decided to evolve that idea of trying to get people to support us in the incubator program, right? Because we still was trying to raise some money, but then later on, it fell into a mental health project. And that is where we are now, to add to the idea of sustainability, first being able to sustain yourself. And when you're able to sustain yourself, then you're able to sustain your community. So now we're able to insert the technology, the NFTs, the metaverse, the music, the poetry, the art. We're putting all of that and the story into our clothing. So when you purchase a product from Threadhaus, you're not only just supporting me as a creative, you're supporting the people that's actually helping me create. And also you're spreading a message, and then you get a chance to participate in the story in so many levels. All of the hoodies that you see back there today, a lot of the hoodies have a message, and they have a QR code that's on it that invites you to our link tree, so you can check that out. Also, a lot of the hoodies also have NFC. A lot of the jackets have NFCs as well. But really what's really cool about all of our product, the sustainable side of it, is all multifunctional. So I believe everything has to have more than one purpose. So my hoodies are not just a regular hoodie. Our hoodies are also reversible. They're sustainably made. Some of them turn into bags. Our jackets turn into bags. We try to bring that multifunctionality into the idea of our clothing, into the idea of our storytelling. And that's what led us where we are today. So my name is Manny Jackson. Oh, I'm always forgetting to do this. So I'm really excited about this piece that I'm about to show you all right now, real quick. This is a piece that we got a chance to, that we're doing a big project with the Department of LA Waste Sanitation, Governor Gavin Newsom, State of California, California Product Stewardship Council, this organization, and also an organization by the name of Homeboy Industries. Homeboy Industries works with incarcerated, what's up? works with individuals that are being rehabilitated back into society, whether they were in prison or locked up. Homeboy, when they get out, Homeboy Industries gives them a job and it gives them the skill set. So they expand the life cycle for these individuals. And it's a beautiful story. So they started this initiative called Homeboy Threads, where they're now partnering up with upcyclers and people like me to help us be able to expand the life cycle of all sorts of clothing and materials. And so this is a larger incentive called SB 707, right, where they're trying to put this in legislation, where they're incentivizing commercial businesses like restaurants, hotels, detention centers, to be able to take their uniforms, their linens, and provide it to designers and upcyclers to breathe life back into it. So Threadhaus has been fortunate enough to be the poster child for a lot of different organizations and a lot of different events with this strong messaging. So this is one that we have the chance to be the poster child behind, and we get a chance to not only show the level of our technology, but also the innovation behind our technology. So what happened with this, we created we have a digital QR code passport that allows you to scan the clothing and register your clothing right online. This is not an NFT or anything like that, but it allows you to scan whatever your item is online, and it tells the story of how it was created, what was in the clothing, or whatever. So you can actually scan that, right? And this is part of the company that we're partnered up with. This is the organization. And so this project this piece that I'm about to show you was really passionate is, you can't get these items just going out and buying it. This stuff is really personal, and if anybody's ever experienced anything or have family members that's ever been in jail or whatever, like these items, they don't allow you to take them back. And people ask me, why was I so excited about taking on this project? I'm like, because we get to take these uniforms and expand the life cycle. And I created a project, a product that I feel is going to be very affordable, and it's going to be a product that everybody in Los Angeles can get behind. Everybody can get behind a project and an idea and a garment that looks good and that has a message, right? And that also has functionality to it. So with this piece, we get a chance to go and present this idea during Earth Week to the UN. We get to go and talk about what we're doing right here in LA. We get to go overseas to the Olympics next year or this year to talk about that. We get to act locally but think globally. So I really want everybody to understand that when you're a part of this Threadhaus community, this Threadhaus organization, you're part of something so much bigger. And all of this beautiful people that's sitting on this panel, this is what this community looks like. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like Raven, like B, and all these beautiful creators that support us. So I just want to let you all know, you supporting that mission for us and supporting buying our clothing, supporting buying our hats, supporting wearing our product at NFT NYC. Supporting us allows us to be able to continue to do this. So I'm going to show you this piece real quick. Hold the mic, Ray.
We did end up having a fashion show. All right, let's go. What a resourceful group. Now we have music. Ooh! All right. It was a backpack, now it's a jacket. It's two jackets. What else?
Alright, so as you can see, this is my first time actually debuting this. So I hope somebody can film this for me. We haven't debuted this yet. But what's so dope is each one of these colors represent a different thing. And so we partnered up with the LA County Detention Center and LA Sanitation to actually be able to make these pieces that's all upcycled. Now what's really cool is, I know this is pretty bright and got all of these different things around it, but this is a regular denim piece. And the denim is actually made from the bottom legs. We had a whole palette of bottom legs that was cut up, and we just took all the bottom legs and we made these upcycled denim jackets. These will probably be released in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm definitely going to have pre-orders open for you all, and I'm going to show you the other side. And as you can see, it easily converts into a bag. You get the digital passport on the back that tells you how it's made, and you get a chance to represent. Now, if you don't want to represent this side, I can understand, but understand that this is a message behind this. But let me show you the denim side. Drum roll, please. Alright, so simple, cool, denim, right? Denim. This is like a denim moto jacket. It's kind of happened by accident, to be honest. But what's so really cool about this particular one is it has 2 different sizes. So I'm super skinny, so I have to wear it like that. But if I had a little bit more room, I could just have it like that. So, like I said, everything that I do, I really put a lot of intention behind, and I think about the functionality. I think about why do you need to have this in your in your closet. And what I like to tell people is when you buy one Threadhaus item, it replaces 3 to 5 items in your wardrobe. So think about that. That's true sustainability.
Any minimalists out there? Go to Manny. Wow, those intros kind of answered all the questions that I had prepared for y'all. So on the thread of community, which I think ties all of our ideas together and is why we do this and how we're able to do this, because I know a lot of us are bootstrapping. The fashion industry is hard, tech's hard, it's all hard right now. And we need each other to rely on. And right now, I need to rely on y'all for some questions, because I know you have them, and I'd rather you get the chance to talk to us now than me, drum up the AI-generated questions I had prepared for this panel. So is anyone out there before we wrap up? And we've got a surprise performance after this. But before we get to that, any questions in the audience? Don't all raise your hand at once. Christina, was that you? In the back, it wasn't, but you're a fashion stylist. I'm putting you on the spot. I'm gonna come to you, sorry. You're gonna hate me tomorrow. Okay, as a fashion stylist, how do you see yourself fitting into the future of fashion or any of the things that our wonderful panelists have talked about? Do we prefer the AI now? How do you guys see fashion intermixing with AI in the future? Like, do you see it taking over in the physical realm, or is there kind of room for both? Great question. I'm going to give this one to Sasha to start, but if you want to chime in after, Sam.
So I kind of see it being a mix of things. I think a lot of designers are going to probably start off with concepting their pieces like using AI, because like the waste production of that is just like 0, and so you can quickly like iterate and come up with like really insane cool concepts. I use any fashion AI piece I make, I turn into like an AR filter, and so how I kind of see things like happening is like fashion designers are going to be able to use like Midjourney to prompt a piece and then turn it into an AR filter, and then on top of that, in the future, turn it into like an avatar that you can like exist in like VR chat or like other metaverse like things. And then if it's a hit, people like it, like people like tap like on it, it shows interest, then it can come down to like a pre-order system of like per buy, I think this is called, or pay per item. And so lessening the impact of like, okay, we have to produce thousands of pieces and try to sell them instead of just being like, what's hot or not. I think that's the future of fashion with AI, just helping streamline that process.
I think it's going to help. It's another tool. It's not going to replace. It's an and then. You still need to go from that concept to a tech pack into a sample. Like, there's still a lot of steps, and it's a very complicated process to just suddenly replace with AI. And there's a lot of intricacies and human elements that are made. Doesn't mean that some people won't do that, but I think we're years off from tech packs and samples being completely made from AI.
We'll go down the line.
I
We all got something to say.
hope we're not as far up. Can we do it now or already? I would love to see personally the fashion industry and film and art embrace AI. I feel like right now, not people in this room, but especially the old school people who haven't grasped the tech side, there's this fight of like them wanting to fight AI or not be taken over by it. And so I really think it's a matter of connecting that with the concept that's going to make those people realize that we need AI as part of our team, as part of our tribe, instead of letting it cause fear in us, let it cause creativity and ways to use it to come up with solutions to get every person who's involved with that concept that AI is helping us with, get them monetized and paid as people. So it's not AI taking our jobs, it's AI helping us create more jobs within our industry. And I think in order for that to really fully happen, our fellow artists and creators and talent have to be willing to jump out of the current paradigm system that we're expected to be under the umbrella or in the box of, and be willing to learn and grow and wear those different hats or come up with a different job that AI, that we're helping AI help us with. Kind of like the concept that you were saying. I don't even know what to call it, but I call it, I can't think of anything other than like collaboration with AI. We have to collaborate with them rather than fight it, right? Or let it take us over. So that's, and I hope that comes sooner than later. Like one more fashion season, like let's just put it out there now. So yeah, I think there's hope in getting it done faster. If the more of us just keep speaking up about it and not being afraid and gathering independent information and experience as well as collective, and they see us all kind of start to rise up and share it and do it ourselves. And I think it'll start to catch on more, but we all just have to come out of our shells and support each other as we do. But that's my opinion.
And Zen?
Yeah, so there's different vertical integrations. Like I just came back from Vegas from the ShopTalk.com conference. And there was a lot of AI technology that large corporations like Macy's or Nordstrom's are looking into. And one of them that I found really interesting with AI is fraud prevention. So let's say they have a network of 15,000 merchants, and it could able to flag fraud, like people that buy stuff in fashion and then return. So real cool to see AI being used that way to prevent fraud. Another that I saw is like building large language models where you have the ability to have a data set of your inventory of just images, and you could literally just take a selfie, put a prompt that says a t-shirt blue, and it'll basically pick from the database that exists, render it down on you, and basically just see if you like it or not, and figure out your sizing. Yeah. And then
influencers are gonna be so excited.
Yeah. And then another one that I really thought was really cool, I saw at CES, which is a consumer's electronics show. Are you guys familiar with it? So there I saw.
You know.
So today I went to LA Apparel to pick up one of Kanye West's tees that we're scanning here with this $250,000 Lamborghini scanner. If you guys want to see that scan happening here, they have a Lamborghini like
All those words you just
scanner.
put in a sentence.
So, and I'm probably gonna give away that Yeezy tee. So if
What's
you guys
a
want,
Yeezy tee?
if
You have to ask the next question.
If you guys, yeah. So one of the things that they were asking me is like they just finished a collection called John Doe, right? And basically there's a sample line, right? So it's like, okay, so how do I digitize this? Well, there's so many different solutions where they're charging you X and Y and Z, but for the traditional like cut sew pattern maker, there's this platform called Z Emotions which allows you to import your textiles, your fabrics, and then export them to all these different formats, and they built an Unreal Engine now within it. So I think that's super cool. And then there's another platform that basically allows you to import your avatar and dress it. And one of the designers that's helping us navigate that space, he's back there. If you guys want to talk or learn more, he can tell you more. That's his word. He's been a professional animator for the last 20 years. He's back there. His name's Jeff. My name's Jeff.
Jeff, raise your hand.
Jeff, raise your hand. Oh, there he is, right there. 20 years animator. He's out there, so if you guys want to learn and ask some questions what he's doing, he's back there, please. And then we have the Scan Truck, which they worked on a lot of Marvel movies. So they've done those Marvel movies. They did the interiors with Angelina Jolie. They had her shoot the craziest facial expressions to get like a stereoscopic experience, but that's part of like the asset. So imagine being able to create a database and import it into a language model. And then one of the things that I found more interesting in fashion is home interior design.
What?
Home interior design using AI. Literally, people were coming up to me at Lowe's because we had a booth there showcasing the caster. It's like, I see you guys are doing it with fashion, but what if like the client would go to their bathroom and take a picture of the toilet and they prompt like gold toilet and it would render one of their that's actually possible. So you have the ability to prompt, take a picture from your toilet and change it. So that was like, wow, you guys. So it's very cool to see how it started with fashion and AI kind of builds that bridge, and then like expanding to the mainstream is super cool, like all the different avenues that it could go. But that's just a part, but I have so much I could say, but I don't want to take the show.
Yeah, what's unsaid. But they all said, and I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time unless anyone has burning questions. Yes, you get the Yeezy shirt.
Hey y'all, so my name is Tia. I'm a fashion designer and I have a brand called Tia Laza. And one of my biggest challenges has been making pieces because I'm more into historic pieces. And my biggest challenge has been the material being able to produce. So I have definitely been interested in technology and how to make that work for my brand. So I'm really excited that I'm here tonight, but I want to know how can I get started? Because I'm just kind of like, there's a lot out there already. So like, what's something that I can get started like tonight? Just like tell me. I'm ready. I have time. So yeah.
Thank you. Good question.
What's going on, Tia? Shout out, thanks for being here. So how you get started tonight? You got some old clothes? Go take them apart. That's it. That's how you get started tonight. Take them apart. I started in fashion, taking clothes apart, and I didn't know this was upcycling at the time, but I started off hand painting clothes, and that led to where we are today. But I tell anybody, if they want to get into fashion, they really want to do it, take clothes apart, because that's how you study the concept, the construction. I mean, it takes a lot to take a pair of jeans apart. If you never took a pair of jeans apart, go take a pair of jeans apart. You're going to see how long it takes. It takes a lot, but it allows you to understand stitching. It allows you to understand construction. It allows you to understand the pattern. If you put it on, it might allow you to understand fit. So there's so many different things by you just taking clothes apart. So if you say you want to get started today, go take some clothes apart. All right?
I believe you. You're taking notes. I'm like, I can see it happening.
So, my recommendation is, it's called Snapchat Lens Studio. There's this template you can use called garment transfer, and you can just have to upload a front-facing image of your garment, standing kind of like this, and it's able to just render the image that you've posted into it in seconds. All it takes is just uploading a front-facing image of your garment.
Render it into what?
Into an AR filter.
An
Yeah,
AR filter.
an AR filter you can post on Snapchat.
But what about it if it's like a drawing? What if I don't have it?
If it's a drawing.
Yeah.
There are ways, and I can tell you, it's a little bit more detailed than
We'll
taking
book
your time.
you a
but
one-on-one with
you
Sasha.
come chat with me, and we can talk about how to do that. Yeah.
I think you can look at it from a holistic standpoint. So there's little things that you can do. Generally speaking, taking anything apart is a good idea to understand how it's made. And I used to have a friend, and she was an amazing doctor and teacher, and she would teach a sustainability class, and that was the first assignment, to go find your favorite object, take it apart, and find the source of every piece in that project, or in that item. And that was a year-long project. And so I think that's a huge piece, but look at your labels, look at your packaging, look at all of the pieces that you then go through to wrap up your product and deliver it. You can start with that. You can start to source, look at your materials that, if they're coming from upcycled, or, there's a whole slew of new biosustainable materials. And you can get pretty cheap samples, whether it's, cactus leather. There's grape leather here being in California. There's all different types of different materials that are starting to come out that are not PET or poly-based, and they're plant-based. You can look at bamboo, you can look at hemp as well. And I think just starting to expand and looking for those types of materials and starting to see how those can work into the process and getting scraps to start.
So I'm not as knowledgeable as them as far as the tech details, but once you have something to show, please contact me, because I put together shows. I'm a model coordinator and lead model, so I can get you into shows that are not in that space and need people in the space in order to get into our space, right? As well as shows coming up that are going to be metaverse based, and we're looking for newer metaverse or new and existing metaverse designers who also do old school design as well. So I would love to refer you to both and see your work after you do the advice that they give you.
This production flow.
And to continue to get mentorship and ask advice. That's like number one for all of us. I think that's a continued lesson for sure. Contact me. Find me later.
And one of the things that I've seen a lot too is like when I was at LA Apparel, it's like a simple brand. It's just white cut shirts. It's like the Z emotion is Z-emotion, and that gives you the ability to then create a certain file that allows you to put that in a marketplace. So when I say marketplace, you're usually traditionally using asset stores like Unreal Engine or Unity has an asset store, or like other like 3D Sketch where you can like put your store. But there's meta closets that you could technically purchase these assets or find the designers that make these 3D assets. So it's like a whole new industry that's coming out. So one of the best examples that I like to show for use cases, like a Snoop Dogg video that you guys had a guest prior, and where do they get the assets? It's just basic models, but there's like a whole market that dedicated to basically create like Lacostes, clothing that they paid, and then it's like, well, then you can purchase this from the meta closet for X, Y, and Z, or hire the designer that created it, so you can create something similar, but then it's like, how are you using it for animation? So it's like a whole streamline is just opening up. And some people that are using these assets aren't even designers, but it's like they need to find these assets to fill their animations. So it's creating it could be totally unrelatable, but it's like they'll buy your asset for X, Y, and Z. So let's say you made a really intricate design by Louis Vuitton. Someone's gonna buy that for like $500 because it's going to save the time and cost of just hiring someone to fully dedicate to create that one asset, right? So it's a very interesting space how there's segments from one design can lead to, there's no end for it.
Paris, do you have any advice? Paris is an amazing digital designer.
Bouncing off of what you said about taking things apart, if you can't physically do it, you can also digitally do it. There is clothing software that makes patterns for you, and you can 3D visualize the pattern, and they'll also have it optimized so you can actually go and get that pattern printed out with fabric. So there's Code 3D, there's Marvelous Designer, Style 3D, all of those are good starting points. It's a bit of a learning curve, but yeah, if you want to do like a phygital is the new term nowadays, where you have physical and digital garments. It's a good way to fuse that together.
And both Sasha and Paris create a lot of content on their production flow, on how they create these digital designs. So check out their social media pages. Check out everybody's social media page. Everyone on this stage has so much knowledge, and again, the key is to collaborate. We're building a new world, and I think it's going to be better if we don't do it as competition, but as a community. So thank you all for sitting through an hour and 20-minute panel. That's pretty incredible on a Monday night. And to thank you, we have a special performance coming live from the metaverse from Television, who is actually, I did my first fashion show in LA with him during NFTLA a couple years ago. So shout out to Television, and give him a round of applause.